You're listening to Beauty, Strength, and Dominance, the official podcast of Lingerie Fighting Championships. And now, here's your host, Michael Latkin.
All right.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the official LFC Lingerie Fighting Championships podcast, Beauty, Strength, and Dominance. Beauty, Strength, and Dominance, the three key elements that make women the work of art that they are. My name is Mike Larkin, and joining me today is the woman behind Evolve Fights, Les, the lovely Miss Ariel X. Ariel, it is a pleasure to have you on the show. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here.
Oh, you are very welcome. First and foremost, we've seen a lot of girls fight from LFC, Lingerie Fighting Championships, and Evolve Fights. So it's a great connection here, a lot of great link ups here. And I wanted to talk to you about Evolve Fights because I got to say, first and foremost, before we talk about how you got into it in the whole nine and we get your story, I got to say, I'm a fan of the product and I love what you do and the uniqueness behind it.
I thank you so much. I'm glad you appreciate it. I'm a big fan of your stuff too.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Well, first and foremost, I look at it like this, right? Like you have that nice flex and the overall balance of, sensualness, sexuality, as well as getting down right and kicking ass and taking names. So it's a really nice little balance and blend with Evolve Fights.
Yeah, I love all of that. The physicality of it, the sexuality of it, and the fun part aspect of it is always great.
And I think that's what's missing in a lot of things. A lot of people, with the uniqueness of it. And I look at it like this: from you go into the bouts, right? There's physicality, but then at the end, there's a little pleasure. And I'm not talking about the pleasure principle like Janet Jackson, but there's some pleasure in there as well. So it adds a little fun to it.
I'd hope so that there's pleasure. A little bit of pain with a little bit of pleasure makes for a good time.
Hey, for me, this is my nerdiness coming out once again. It's like in 2001, if you want to take it back to the punk rock days when Sum 41 was talking about pain for pleasure. I mean, you can kind of equate Evolve Fights with that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So first and foremost, let's talk about Evolve Fights as a whole. How did that whole thing come into fruition? Because we'll get into some of the bouts and everything that we've seen that's evolved with Evolve Fights, pun intended. But how did that whole thing come into fruition on your end?
Well, I had been doing a ton of wrestling for a variety of different sites, mostly girls on girl wrestling. And I kind of developed a fetish for it. I don't, you know, that I don't think anyone's born with a fetish, right? Like you just kind of develop it over time and go,
Yes.
oh, wow, I really enjoy this. Every time I do this, I have fun. It's, something I look forward to. So it's something I developed a fetish for. And I was doing sessions a while back. Probably 7 years ago, I stopped doing sessions, but I really enjoyed wrestling around with guys. And in the sessions, it was just so fun because they were all gentlemen, they were all kind, and just in they revered women and just looked up to a strong, powerful woman and treated me like a queen, and that was amazing. So that was obviously a great experience for me. And I was directing for a company called kink.com. They had a all-female wrestling site called Ultimate Surrender, which I had been performing for many years prior to taking on directing for them. And I wanted to share my love for the male versus female wrestling, which nobody had really done before in the way that Ultimate Surrender was doing their female versus female, where it was sexual things earned you uh, points. And then if you had the highest points at the end of the match, then you got to, dominate sexually your opponent. So there had been some mixed wrestling sites in the scene that was strictly uh, girls versus guys, maybe some topless, maybe some nude, but there was nothing that was girls versus guys with winner fucks the loser. That was a competitive kind of thing, which I understood why, because like nobody wants to see a dude beat up on a girl. And, you can't, there's only so many dudes you can find who are not going to win all the time. So it was like you had to kind of play it a certain way, like there's a certain audience that will enjoy it if it's done wrong, and that's a very small audience, and I wanted everyone to enjoy it. So it took me a lot of brainstorming with the fans, brainstorming with my session guys, brainstorming with the girls who were also doing it to figure out what I could do to make this fun, safe, and entertaining.
I think what's great about it too is, and as a wrestling fan in general, I think the storytelling of it, as long as you're going in there telling a story, and I mean, so people talk about it from, the angles and getting in the ring, because really it's like chess, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to wrestling, it's like chess, finding a body part, systematically dissecting, joint manipulation. But in this particular aspect, I mean, there's a lot of great storytelling as well, and I also look at it from the stance, which you so eloquently put it, look at intergender wrestling. I mean, back in the 80s, it's kind of like a comedy feel, because everybody remembers the days of Andy Kaufman as the intergender champion of the world. When he's taking on all the girls and he's taking on Jerry Lawler and that whole situation that led to the David Letterman show and the whole thing. So it's one of those things where, like, later on, I mean, we've seen intergender wrestling come back. I mean, WWE did the Mixed Match Challenge, but it wasn't like they had back in the day where we've seen the guy-girl interactions. It's mostly like the women face the women, the men face the men. So there's some little interaction to it, but you also look at it nowadays, how intergender wrestling has blown up because we see it on a lot of independent wrestling cards and in general. So I think over the years, we've seen the involvement of intergender wrestling, like you mentioned, women facing guys. There's also the session wrestling industry, like you mentioned. Like, I think that's great because it's uniqueness, and like you talk about the respect and the professionalism that goes into it, and it's all around fun, which is the point, you know what I'm saying? Having fun and protecting and being safe with everybody,
Correct. You don't want to break your toys. If you have your models coming in and they're getting injured or otherwise hurt, they're not going to come back. And you're ruining that for them. You're ruining it for the fans who want to see them come back, because the models just don't want to come back if they're not having a good time.
Of course. And I think for me, like you talk about the sensual vibes to it, this is me as a kid, you know what I'm saying? Because I remember when I was young, like there was so many wrestling stuff coming on the scene, and there's some things that last and some things that didn't, right? I remember there was a company called XPW, Rob Black, who I believe directed some adult entertainment films. He was the owner of that. This is when they were involved with ECW, the original ECW, in like the late 2000s. And then we also saw, I believe there was a WEW, Women's Extreme Wrestling, erotic wrestling, something like that. I remember that sticking out because as a kid, you're flipping through the TV, then all of a sudden you see this on pay-per-view. Now, mind you, I didn't buy it because I was a preteen and my mom would have killed me, but I digress. It's one of those things that pique your interest from the visual standpoint, and it's just like, all right, this is something new. It's different. You know what I'm saying? It also included a lot of people that were in the adult entertainment industry. So there's a lot of different plays and uniqueness there. So we've seen it not just now, but back in the day, and I think the evolution of that is awesome because I think, like you also put it with the fetish thing, look at people's fetish. Like, people, as we grow in time, people have different fetishes and different things that they like. And that's what makes us unique as people, whether it be having things with feet, what have you, from the sensual, aspect. I think that's pretty cool. And it shows the uniqueness of us as human beings.
Absolutely. Yes, I agree with that.
And I think that's how people have to view it. And I've always said on this show, like, people need to be a little bit more open-minded. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're not hurting anybody and you're just having a good time and you're doing it in the professional setting and really trying to encompass something different and really trying to do something that some people like and some people don't. As long as you're not hurting anybody, you know what I'm saying? That's the main thing. And I think what you're doing provides a lot of variety. And I think we need a lot of variety nowadays,
I agree with you. You're never going to make everyone happy. There's just nothing on the planet that everyone is going to agree on and say, hey, this is what I like. It's just never going to happen. So I understand that the websites I make are not for everyone. And if it's not for you, you're more than welcome to just move along. And if it's for you, I'm more than honored to be able to talk to you and pick your brain and let's talk about it. Let's help it evolve and become perfect, but with keeping in mind that I'm not here to make custom videos for one person, but if all the fans want to get together and talk about, hey, this could make this better, this would be awesome, let's improve it, I'm all for that. But, we all have to be respectful that not everything is for everyone else. So we just have to keep that in mind and understand that. That's part of life.
That's true. I mean, if you really want to meet somebody that's really happy, I mean, Pharrell had a hit song called Happy back in the day. That boy was very happy, if y'all remember that music video. My goodness. But I digress. No, I mean, it also goes to the old mottage of sex sells. You know what I'm saying? You look back in the golden age with the 1980s. God rest his soul, George Michael, I Want Your Sex. We've seen a lot of different, songs that really have been in popular culture with sex sells. And I mean, for me, as a kid, you look at the late 90s, right? When pop culture was at its finest with like the boy bands and, girls like Britney Spears coming up. Like, prime example right there, like the Baby One More Time video. Everybody like, oh my goodness, here's this beautiful young lady who she's in this schoolgirl attire. There, people have the fantasies about like like, you know, the naughty schoolgirls, the cheerleaders, what have you. So, I mean, from that standpoint, I think it's did its job from the video aspect. I mean, and it does apply to the whole sex sells, you know?
Absolutely. Just something more contemporary with the Cardi B's WAP, the Wet Ass Pussy song.
Yes.
Everyone's giving her flack on that, like, oh, she has to do all this, sell sex, and, why can't she just sing regular songs? And she was like, well, if you guys want to hear regular songs, play and buy the songs written by artists who are not singing about sex. But obviously, you guys want to hear this, so that's why it's selling. It's just a no-brainer.
Okay, back in the day, and I think you can concur me on this one. When Salt and Pepper had Push It Real Good, and Let's Talk About Sex, Baby. Let's talk about you and me. What a man, what a man, what a man, what a mighty good man. Like, come on. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know where we're going with that. And look at the video. Pepper's in the tub, the whole nine. Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'll even take it back to 2006. This might be an obscure one. Pretty Ricky. And for those that remember Pretty Ricky, they had songs like Your Body. They had Grind With Me, Relax Your Mind, Take Your Time With Me. They had On the Hotline. Phone sex. Like, it's right in the title, phone sex, you know? So we've seen a lot of that over the years.
Absolutely. Like you said, sex sells. And so if you want an easy sale, put a little sex in there. It's easy.
You know what it is? And I'm going to say this right now. One other pop culture reference, because you can tell my nerdiness is coming out here. Craig David, UK Craig David, Fill Me In, songs like that. He had that song, What's Your Flavor? Tell Me What's Your Flavor. That's what we're doing. We're just asking what your flavor is, adding that flavor to it.
That's pretty much exactly right. Yeah. What's your flavor?
Exactly. You sometimes just got to put a stamp on it, put the kibosh on, and just say, hey, everybody has different flavors. I'm talking about FLAVA, like flavor. Anyway, let's get back to Evolve Fights. What's great about Evolve Fights, and this is what I love, like you've talked about, you've included a lot of LFC girls. One in particular, I know Agatha Campbell Carter, Shelby Paris, who is relatively new to LFC. She's going to be an LFC prospect in the future. The tie-ins with LFC and Evolve Fights that I love is, for me, like growing up with my mother and my grandmother, two of my biggest influence, right? I've always had the respect and love and admiration for women like I've had from my grandmother, mother, and that's really had my overall mindset of how I treat women going forward. But I also look at it from a standpoint, like you have girls in lingerie, you have girls that can kick butt. There's different art forms, of combative nature, such as wrestling, MMA, jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, the whole nine. And I think that adds a nice, going back to the word flavor to it, and it's also great because we get to see beautiful women in lingerie, and who doesn't love beautiful women in lingerie? And also the fact that the training aspect that goes into the regimen, and this I will equate to you, Miss Ariel X, the fitness aspect, because I've seen you lift and carry some people. You're a beast, and I'm going to say that with the utmost sincerity and respect. You are a true beast in your own right. So I think it all has a nice little blend.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I have learned from talking to the fans and mostly the session guys, but is the discipline that these women put in to the art. Making porn, almost any girl off the street can make porn, but to do wrestling porn, it takes a girl who has a little bit different discipline. Like she has to be able to handle intense moments. You might get smothered. If you're claustrophobic, you probably shouldn't wrestle. But just the fact that a woman's willing to put her body on the line in a combative way that most females aren't willing to do, it's kind of hot. You have to be disciplined if you're going to pursue martial arts in any way. It's not you just don't walk into the ring and have skills. You have to train for it if you want to be good. And training means that you're taking away from time doing something else. Like instead of watching the Kardashians, I have to spend my time in the gym learning this discipline. So it tells you a lot more when you see a female who has experience in martial arts. It tells you more about them than meets the eye. It's not just, oh, she's a badass. If you delve into it, you go, she spends her time doing something that most women don't do. And I find that very unique.
I wholeheartedly agree with you on that. I look at people like it with LFC, Jennifer Thomas, aka Jenny Bloody Valentine. Like she was just doing some more training. Again, the whole, catch as catch can, but Catch Wrestling Alliance or however. That's learning, technique, footwork, just applying holds. And there's a lot of great, you know what it is? You're also in Las Vegas for most of the events. It's the fight capital of the world. You have wrestling schools, you have training facilities. Everything is right at your fingertips. And just, you have to appreciate the discipline, like you mentioned, that goes into it. And that's what I think I love about it, besides the beauty aspect. It's like, God dang, we're learning holds. We're learning everything that really encompasses what a great combative nature and what a great fight is. I also kind of equate it to, and I think you can agree with me on this, for a short period of time, we had the LFL, the Lingerie Football League, which I believe is now is the Legends Football League, right? Look at what that encompassed. It's beautiful women in lingerie playing football. And if you people who watched some of those games, as I did when it used to be on MTV2 late at nights, my goodness gracious, that's taking it back to '09. It's one of those things where you look at Lingerie Football League and it's like, all right, these girls are hot, but my God, they friggin' can tackle the living shit out of you. Excuse my language, but
Yeah, some of those girls had arms, man. They could throw that ball like crazy. I was like, so impressed with some of those ladies. It was incredible.
and that's the thing too. And also, this is where wrestling ties in, because I'm like, people were talking about how like people get into WWE and whatnot. I'm like, you do realize, like, look at Summer Rae, because this is the example I use. Danielle Monet, I believe is her real name. Summer Rae comes into WWE. She's doing the thing with Fandango. She's dancing. She's on NXT. She's doing her thing. Beautiful girl. Started in the LFL, one of the badasses of the LFL. And it's like, all right, so she has that nature of getting in there and can get down and dirty, but she can also learn the technique of what it's like to be a professional wrestling superstar. And I love that. That's a nice mix because you come from a combative world.
Yeah, athletes are athletes. So I love that she was able to cross over like that. That's amazing. Good for her.
And that's what I've also learned with MMA and pro wrestling over the years, because people had the argument about it. But for me, I love the crossovers from Ronda Rousey's, like Shayna Baszler and Jessamine Duke, who were with Invicta. Like, I love the over the years, even with Ken Shamrock and people like Brock Lesnar and everybody that really wants to dabble into different art forms. I think it's great because a lot of people want to debate, predetermined, what have you. But I'm like, can we just respect the fact that people want to use that regimen, that overall acumen, to just go into different sports and try it? Because you don't know if you try. And we see a lot of great results from it.
Absolutely. It's fascinating to me when you see athletes cross over sports and it's amazing. Like, oh, wow, that's really cool.
It is. And I think also I look at it from your standpoint with what you do with Evolve Fights. Like, there's a lot of adult workers that are in there. There's a lot of people that have different backgrounds. I think it's great for everybody because it's a uniqueness, like I mentioned earlier in the show. But it's something that I really like, it piques someone's interest. It piques the eye. I also look at it. Here's another reference: the joy of painting, right? Used to come home from school, used to be on Channel 13, Channel 21, whatever it was, right? So you got Bob Ross with his Jufro, the joy of painting, right? It's 30 minutes long. He's painting the picture, right? He's starting off a little something, something here, a little something, something there. And you can tell he's really into what he's doing. Then by the end of that 30 minutes, you got a waterfall, you got a mountain, you got blue skies, you got the whole nine. And it's like, God dang, from the time that he put into that 30 minutes and just the time that he puts into his work from an artistry standpoint, that's how you have to paint the picture. And also you look at it like, are you really looking at that picture, or are you just looking at it like, oh yeah, it's like this? Don't, kind of like a laissez-faire approach. I mean, art is art at the end of the day.
Well, that's a kind of an interesting analogy that you make because, you said he starts his painting and it's a blank canvas,
Yep.
and over half an hour he turns it into something. Like a lot of the time when you see art, whether it's a Bob Ross painting or some female doing an actual competitive match, you just see the end result. You
Mm-hmm.
don't see all the stuff that goes into that. But if you sit down and watch Bob Ross for that full half hour, you see where he starts, how it progresses. You go, okay, where is this going? I don't know. And then at the end of the day, you see the beautiful painting. But in the matches that we see on TV or on the internet, we only see the end result. We don't see a lot of the girl that blank canvas from the start going, painting the bush and the waterfall and all that stuff after that.
I had this conversation with Shelby Paris when we were talking about her bout with Nikki Sequoia. Like, here's the thing. What hooked me to that, like the promos, like this bitch thinks she's going to come at me. Like that promo, just the trash talking. Like, that's the story right there. We start with the promos. It's like with anything with wrestling. You start with the promos, then we get into the action, then we get the end result. Like, for me, that's basic storytelling. That's what I think a lot is just missed nowadays in professional wrestling, because everybody's just like, okay, we're just going to have the match for having the sake of the match. That's great because there's great fine-tuned athletes in it. But I'm like, where's the story here? Where are we going with it? And I think a lot of people can agree, like, it's great to have great matches. It's great to have the storytelling from the in-ring standpoint, but where's the background? Like, do we really know about said person? I think that's also what you do. That's great because you have the trash talking, and then bada bing, bada boom, we got the fight.
We also put a little BTS in there. Sometimes we have like the models just showing off their personality. So it's like you want to get behind someone you like, right? You don't want to, either if you don't know anything about your wrestlers, you're going to a lot of people like to root for the underdog, or they'll root for the person they find the most attractive. But once you delve into their personalities and see more into their actual character, not just the character they're playing on TV, but who they really are, you start developing admiration for them. And that to me is, more than like a WWE fake story. Like I don't care about that. I'm not trying to make that.
Of course.
I like the personalities of the performers to come out as authentic.
Exactly. And I mean, from the 80s, and I think a lot of people can attest to that when it comes to like WWE now. It's like, it's all right. But I mean, when you go back to the 80s and you saw the storytelling of Roddy Piper, Cyndi Lauper, Hulk Hogan, the rock and wrestling connection, like that's something special. That's something beautiful. And it took you to this, WrestleMania and the pageantry, the whole nine. That's great from a show and entertainment standpoint. But I also look at it from the standpoint of, all right, like with your bouts and everything that you've done, I love the fact that you lift and care. I love the takedowns. I love the chokes. Like every time I watch you and I watch all your girls, I'm really impressed just by what I see. And I think I really just enjoy, like I mentioned, not just the sensual aspect, but the fact that you just go in there and you choke. And I mean, I got to say this from the fitness aspect, once more, you're a beast. And I think each and every one of your bouts showcases that.
Oh, thank you. Well, I am a beast. I've trained many hours in the gym for many, many days for many, many years to become that beast. So I'm glad it's coming across and people can see it.
I mean, truth, the fact is fact. And you know what it is, too? Here's what I hated as a kid. And this is just me, again, with my surroundings. Like, me, I think you could tell just by listening to me. I love women. I love women in general. Doesn't matter shape, size, what have you. It's just me appreciating women for the work of arts that they are, right? When I was a kid, and I've had a lot of stupid friends, and I can admit that. And over the years, they get wiser, and some of them stay in their ways, and I just want to just choke them sometimes. But I digress. Going back to the point of this. Going back to the point of this. Sometimes, like when guys would see powerful girls, with the muscles and just everybody that's powerful, right? That, like yourself, who just go to the gym, work out, and really are in tone and just really have that great acumen and regimen, right? Some people would refer to them, and I used to want to smack my friends as mannish. And I'm like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, why do you got to be like, go to that derogatory phase and just derogatory? Like, it's not mannish. It's just a girl that wants to take care of herself. And I love that. That's strength. That's beauty. That's powerful. And that's something that's really admirable and desirable about women.
Yeah, that always bothered me. I always had muscles growing up. I ran cross country and I had big thighs and I always kind of was muscular. And I was asked if I was transgender for my entire life. So I was just like, what? Why can't a person just be who they are without being like stereotyped into some, you know, that sounds like they're trying to neg you, like be like, oh, you look like a guy. And I say, thank you. Well, if that means that I'm fit, that's great. But I did see this meme one time and I thought it was hilarious. And it had this overweight guy, big pot belly. And it was like, this is what an average guy looks like. And then it had this fit, like girl with abs and muscles. And it was like, you're saying this female looks like your average guy? I don't think so. It was just,
You know what it is too? It's kind of like almost like the double standard, and like you mentioned, the stereotype. It's like, oh, if a girl, you know what it is too? It's like, and I'll use WWE as a reference. When they had Sable back in the day, and like during the Attitude Era, like Sable was this beautiful woman, and then you have people like China, and then you have people that come in that are just very, tough and rugged and just can, like when China first came into WWE, she ragdolled poor Marlene, aka Terry Reynolds. And I'm like, people have that whole thing, like, they want the girls to look a certain way and they want, the guys to be muscular and whole nine. But it's like we've come into an era now where we have a lot of different people with the variety aspect that I mentioned that don't look like your typical, what have you. But I think that's just ignorance on their part as well. Cause I'm like, look, like you talk about cross country, that's great. That's running, that's exercise. And like you talk about your thighs, like, that's awesome. It just shows your athleticism too. And instead of just being stuck with the whole, oh, you look mannish. And I'm like, that's the thing. Well, I think even nowadays, you think we've come a long way over the years, but people still have that mindset of just ignorance, I'm sorry for rambling, but it's true.
no, it's true. It's always bothered me. And I think now with people understanding a little bit more about gender fluidity, that it's becoming less of a thing, but it's still really ignorant, like you said. It's just kind of like, man, I have a certain genetics I was born with. I can't change that. I'm not going to starve myself so I look like a girl. I tried that in high school. I didn't like it, okay? So let me eat my goddamn food and have my muscles, okay? Shut up.
Hey, man, I'll be honest with you. Now, I see you actually just brought up the segue to that because I have to mention this. Like, there's a lot of beautiful skinny girls and girls as well that could be thick thick with a C, TAHIC, you know what I'm saying? Thick thighs save lives, as the t-shirt says and as the saying goes. But for me, I also look at it like, okay, there's a point where you look lean and you look fit and you look great, but then there's a point where it's like, you just enjoy your goddamn food and eat something, because there are girls that do that, and a lot of people don't like it. Like you mentioned, it's just sometimes just eat some food, work out, eat some food, and enjoy yourself, you know?
Just be happy and healthy. It doesn't matter. Like if somebody looks a certain way, let them look that way. We don't know what the reason is. Is it genetic? Do
Mhm.
they get injured, or like, man, just let people live their lives. Leave them alone. If they're not bothering you, don't bother them. Get out of here with that.
Pretty much you're saying get the fuck out, which is true. Get the fuck out.
Well,
Oh,
it's like, who are these people to say that is the end all of all beauty? Like we were talking about earlier, there's different flavors. Everyone's got different strokes for different folks. So just because this person isn't your type doesn't mean they're not a million other people's types. So let them be them and just leave them alone. It's crazy talk.
eh. You know what it is? And I made the joke one time because I had a friend, going back to friends, and again, sometimes I love them, but sometimes you just want to joke them. I'm like, what you're pretty much telling me, my dude, is you're like one of these guys that just like the superficial girls that's all about the beauty. You know what it is? It's the Temptations. And yes, I'm going back to the 60s here, folks. Friggin' when they're talking about beauty's only skin deep, yeah, she may be fine on the outside, but so untrue on the inside. That's what it is. I think that's an old adage. Beauty's only skin deep, but god dang, man, it fits. You know what I'm saying?
And it only lasts so long. We all age, we all get old, we could get in some terrible electrical fire and get burned up, or something could happen to us, and we're not going to look the way we looked before. So if that is the most important thing to you, you need to let that go, because it doesn't last. It's gone. It's going to be gone. Just accept it.
It's
Just
not
move on.
it's it's not the Benjamin Button phase where, Brad Pitt just starts out looking like this and then he goes back to younger and reverse in age. It's not the Benjamin Button effect.
No, it's not at all. We all know this. So let it go. You're never going to find happiness if that's what, like, if everyone's sitting there dwelling on that and chasing that. Man, I feel sad for you. You got to find something else to make you happy. There's so much more to this world than what somebody looks like. Get over it.
So pretty much what Ariel X is saying here, folks, she's going the Frozen route. Let it go. Let it go. Am I right? But no, man, I also look at it like this too with LFC. Like one of the common questions that we've had, because RT Sports in Russia did a video about it, exploitation or entertainment. And I'm like, okay. And here's what I get angry about sometimes. It's like, I want you to ask any girl that's performed at LFC if they feel exploited. It's entertainment. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing that gets me, because if it's not like we're putting a gun to your head and saying, hey, you must fight in lingerie. You can either do it or you don't. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? But that question always gets up about exploitation. I'm like, all right. After a while, it's just like appreciate it for what it is, if that makes sense.
Well, exactly. But also, what makes that exploitive? And someone working at McDonald's that they absolutely hate.
Yep.
Not, it's like this person's doing it just for money. They do it because they have to make a dollar.
Mm-hmm.
They hate their job. They hate the customers. They hate everything about it, but they're doing it. It's like, if somebody wants to do an LFC fight or an Evolved Fights fight, that's I'm more than happy to let it happen. But it's, everyone wants to say just because you're showing a nipple or there's a little butt cheek hanging out, it has to be bad. It's like,
Ugh.
very strange to me.
I'll do.
But everyone's getting skull raped at their jobs at their office. But that's
Oh,
okay. I don't think so.
you know what it is too. As someone who's worked in market research over the years, you have your good days and bad days with market research. Do I like my job? Yes. I get paid. I get to make money. I get to work night shifts. I get to work morning shifts. I enjoy what I do. But there's going to be people out there that or don't want to keep flipping burgers, and fries, the whole nine. But at the end of the day, if it's what they do to make money and provide for themselves, and at the end of the day, we have to provide for our families and provide for ourselves and make that dollar bill do re mi, if you will. Just be happy.
Yeah, and one is not better or worse than the other. The only thing that would make it better or worse is if you're happy doing it or not. And from my experience, my models love coming to work for me. So I can't speak for them. You can ask them though.
That's true. Well, no, I can tell. You know what it is too? Sometimes you don't even have to say anything. I can just tell with your models and everything that goes into it, the fun aspect that you provide, which I love. And it makes me smile because you know you're going to get great content with what we see with your fights. But I also look at it like this. I think in a world where what we have going on with this pandemic, with everything that's going on political wise, I mean, as we're recording this, today's election day, people, so get out there and vote. And it's one of those things where it's just like you're really going to be worrying about if there's a nipple or a butt cheek showing. You serious right now? We got a lot of more stuff to worry about in this world.
Yeah, people's priorities are out of whack if that's their main concern. If they think they're going to go to hell because a little butt cheek is showing, you're not. That's not going to happen. I promise you. And if you do go to hell, come back and tell me.
You know what it is, man? And I'm going back to 99 with this one. I think you'll get a laugh out of this with the reference I'm about to make. It's like when Tom Green had the Bum Bum song. My bum is on the cat, my bum is on the dog. You don't see anybody getting outraged because he's talking about bum bums on a cat and a dog because it's funny. And it was Tom Green. And the fact that it made #1 on TRL Total Request Live is absolutely hilarious. You know what I'm saying? It's just for fun. You know what I'm saying? It's funny and also it talks about bum. When Cisco made the thong song, talk about that thong, the thong, thong, thong. Yes, I took it back to 2000 there, but still, you know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, we got bigger fish to fry. Even take it back to Sir Mix-a-Lot, Baby Got Back. You know what I'm saying? Big butts and I cannot lie. There's a lot of stuff more to worry about than lyrics or anything that's really suggested with the buttocks, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone wants to clutch their pearls on certain things. I think it's just a distraction for other things going on in their lives. But,
No, but this is it's healthy. You know what I'm saying? Talk about this stuff, and this is why I
absolutely.
just it is, and this is why I just go into this because I mean, as a young man, you know what I'm saying? Like when we do podcasting and stuff, we want to have a variety. Like when I first got into podcasting, before I even started doing the LFC stuff, I wanted to talk with people in the music industry, the adult entertainment industry, the wrestling industry. There's a variety, and you know what I also go with? Everybody has a story to tell. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the main thing that really goes with what we do with the podcasting wise. Like I want to put out a good message here with beauty, strength, and dominance, and empowering. And I think a lot of people can agree with that, like you do with your product, showcasing these beautiful women and the love, that 1, 2, 3 love that goes into each and every one of the products. And that's why I got to say, whether I'm looking at Nikki Sequoia, Shelby Paris, and happy birthday to the lovely Miss Kelly Provocateur, like that's some good stuff right there.
Yeah, I love all those girls. Listen, all the ladies who wrestle for me, I have the utmost respect for. I enjoy them. Their personalities are awesome. Their willingness to perform in that type of arena is amazing to me. And I'm so happy to have all of them.
And that's the thing too. And I also look at it like, and I told Kelly this with the last podcast that we did. I said, Kelly, you're an absolute beast. Like I look at a woman like Kelly Provocateur, like yourself, very fit, very toned, very good. Like she's another one that is just so impressive from the floor up. You know, it's the floor up and the whole nine, man. It's really good just to see people like her just kill it.
Kelly Provocateur is one of my favorite girls on the planet. She had shot for me for Ultimate Surrender when I was directing that, and she was okay. Like she wasn't great, but she was okay. But she came up to me after her match and she asked me what she could do to improve. She's like, "Hey, where can I start training? What would you recommend me to do? Like, what kind of gyms should I look for?" So I gave her some tips. A lot of the girls do that. They'll ask me, but they never follow through with it. They're just like, oh, okay, this is fun. What should I do to get better? But they don't do anything about it. It's just like lip service, I guess. Or maybe they at that moment felt sincere about it, but after time goes by and they realize how much money they're going to have to spend to actually take classes, they change their mind, or life happens, it's just, we get busy and they just can't do it. But Kelly actually went out and she started training. And every time she came in, she got better and better and better. But then it was like she started really opening up like her personality. She's always been outgoing. That's just who she is. But when she started being more dominant and actually winning and earning her wins, because our stuff is competitive, it's not scripted. We don't like stage the ending, the winner or anything. Like she earned every single victory she had, and you could see her blossoming like a flower, just the way she would dominate sexually in the round fours of evolved fights. Like she just started really owning that, and it was so beautiful to watch her evolve to be like, oh, she was okay. She was like, she kind of knew how to top, she kind of knew how to bottom, and now to watch her evolve and blossom into this beautiful, powerful, strong, skilled woman. And she's petite. She's like smaller than I am.
Mm-hmm.
But when her presence on camera makes her seem like this Amazon, it is so cool. Really freaking cool. I love that girl.
Yeah, me too. I think what's also great about your girls is, and like yourself included, and I truly mean this, the vibrancy and just everything that goes into it. I think y'all are true pros, and I've seen some stuff with Misdemeanor. I've seen some stuff with,
Oh yeah.
oh my
She's great
goodness.
too. She's gonna be a superstar. Yeah. She's an up and comer for sure.
That's
Keep
the
your eyes
thing.
out for her.
And that's the thing, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but god dang, man, you talk about fetishes and stuff. I remember I had Jenny on here, Jennifer Thomas, like I mentioned earlier. The neck fetishes, a lot of girls like choke, some people like to use the leg. There's all different submissions that's encompassed with it, and I love it. You know what I'm saying? Just from that aspect, I love to see different holds used. I love to see everything that goes into it, and that's what I can appreciate. And I also, that's what I think is a lot that's missing in wrestling today, because we've seen a lot of things, the high octane aerial assaults. Nobody really focuses on the submissions anymore. You know what I'm saying? And I love the fact that you can, twist a finger, twist a leg. It's art form, but at the same time, it's dominating just on the groundwork. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's many different ways that you can, make somebody give in. But I like, for my particular websites, we also have people submit sexually. Like, you, there's something psychologically happening in these matches, especially when in the girl matches, where they're trying to subdue their opponent, and some of these females are naturally submissive, and if another female gets on top of them and subdues them or overpowers them, you just see it in their eyes, and their spirit just slowly submits. And it's incredibly hot, so hot. So there's multiple different types of submissions. So we could talk about the physical ones with joint locks and
Mhm.
other types of submissions, but I really do enjoy watching that sexual submission. For me personally, that's rather hot.
First and foremost, I will say two things to that. Number one, I'm aware. I've seen the content, so I'm aware. But number two, I can understand that because, it's kind of like, all right, let me put this to bottom line this. It's kind of like spiritually connected, but from a sexual standpoint, if that makes sense.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right. See, you know what it is too? That's another thing, spiritual side. It's kind of like, taking away, everything from you. Like you said, it's not really embarrassing humiliation, but it's just like, everything just coming out of your body. It's like an hour out of body experience sort of deal.
Yeah, you could say that.
All right. Well, I mean, I also look at it too from your standpoint with LFC. When I look at people in the lingerie fighting championships, and this is what I love also to compare with Evolve fights, because we talked about the sensual side of things and the physicality, but it's just like watching these girls with chokes and just absolutely killing it. Sometimes you may have a, wardrobe malfunction, and that happens, but there's a lot of things that really go into that a lot of people don't see. And I think what's great about it too is the camaraderie of the girls. Like with LFC, I also equate to the camaraderie that you and your models have, and that's what I love about it. Because again, from the internal and external standpoint, we got a lot of people going out there putting out great content and great fights for the people.
Yeah, I think some of the fans like to think that these girls want to rip each other's heads off and murder each other and stab each other in their sleep or something. Which, if that's what they want to believe, then they can believe whatever they want, But that's not what I'm putting down. So if that's what they're picking up, I don't know what to say to that. But like you said, these ladies have camaraderie. They want each other to succeed because, in the industry, if you can do well, you can start referring your friends and they'll do well. So it's like, if you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. You want to help each other out. You don't want to be that asshole and get blackballed from the industry and be that person that nobody wants to work with because you're difficult or an asshole. So there is camaraderie. And these women are very smart to figure that out and be like, hey, you know what? If I get along with these other performers, it means more work for me and better performances.
It's like the old saying, we can all learn to get along, or one of us is going to have to learn to get along. That makes sense.
Yeah, totally.
I also look at it from the standpoint of, okay, and here's, I think, what kind of irks me in a way. I don't want to say grinds my gears, the Family Guy reference, but
I know. I'm familiar.
yes. All right. But what really gets me here is the fact that, people have that mindset. Oh, it's just girls rolling around in lingerie, or with your stand, it's just girls, nude or what have you. But I'm like, do you actually see the time and effort that goes into this? It's not
Yeah.
just one standpoint of like, oh my God, it's girls rolling around in lingerie. Like, actually look at the time and everything that goes into it, Just had to get that.
That, and you know what other what grinds my gear is when the fans think that they can do it better. And I'm like, hey, by all means, I want you to go ahead, do it. Please make something, please do it. If you think you can make something amazing, I please put your money where your mouth is. I support it, and I'll even advertise for you.
There you go. I'll be honest with you. All you need in the background now is some Snoop Dogg sensual seduction, and then boom. But no, that's the thing too, and I think we've seen that a lot with people. I mean, that was back in the days when people would look at the WWE, WWF at the time, and I remember MTV before everything was reality show based and everything was just Catfish and Teen Mom that we see on MTV and the Jersey Shore. We had shows like True Life that really showed documentary on a lot of different subjects and a lot of different art forms or things that we deal with in everyday life, so to speak. I remember they did one about backyard wrestlers, and I'm like, oh, dear God, because I know where this is going, because everybody thinks that they could do something better than the actual performance, the art, the sport. And it's like, all right, God bless you, but you still kind of look foolish. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of training that goes into it. And like we talked about safely, I mean, to use the old phrase and adage, being safe and also doing it in a spectacular fashion. And here we just go, everybody going buck wild on each other,
Yeah, I have not ever seen any of those shows because I don't watch reality TV, so those references went way over my head. But I knew what Catfish was.
Yeah,
But
God bless you. God bless you. I'll be honest with you. A reason why I say God bless you is because we had a lot of reality shows back in the day. Hey, man, like I mentioned before with that Flavor, we had Flavor of Love, we had The Rockala, we had all those shows on VH1, and everything was mostly surrounded by reality TV. But yeah, I say God bless you for not remembering those because, oh my God, just some people that we had in this world. But anyway, I digress. God.
um, I did actually, when I was recovering from a surgery, I watched Jersey Shore just because I wanted to have something to numb my brain that I didn't have to use any brain cells to watch. So I have to admit that I did watch Jersey Shore, and it served its purpose. It got me through my surgery.
See, I was a late bloomer with the Jersey Shore. I didn't start watching that until like season 3 when everything went downhill with Ronnie and Sammy, and that whole season was just them pretty much fighting nonstop every episode. So yeah, I was kind of late to the party on that, but I mean, it's entertaining. I mean, you can't look away. I mean, for God's sake, if you look at it from the wrestling standpoint, Snooki is eligible for the celebrity wing of the WWE Hall of Fame because she wrestled at WrestleMania. Yeah, so I mean, God dang.
Did she? That's
Yes, she did. And I mean, here's what the smart thing about it is though. The actual wrestlers wrestled, right? And she only had one spot. She did like a handspring elbow and got the pin, and that was it. She only had one spot in the match, which is smart because you protect her. But yeah, that's the thing. I mean, you take off what the popular trend is. And I mean, say what you will about it, but Jersey Shore has been very popular over the years since its inception in 2009? My goodness, in 11 years, we're still talking about it.
Wow, that's amazing. Good for her.
Exactly. And that's the thing. I mean, that's the thing that we see in popular culture that really equates with a lot that we see in sports, which is pretty cool just to see, like, to quote, evolve there, evolution, if you will, of everything that goes into it from career standpoint and art form standpoint,
Absolutely, yeah.
Now, I'm going to ask you this because first and foremost, I got to say, I've really been enjoying just shooting the breeze with you to talk about Evolve, LFC, and a lot of variety of topics. And I'm going to say this right now, Miss Ariel X. The overture is here. Anytime you want to come back on the show, you are more than welcome. I really had a blast talking to you today.
You are such a delight. I thank you so much for really being a positive light in the industry and shining a positive light on the models who do this and supporting us. It's really amazing. And you have amazing taste in females. I just wanted to put that out there.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you very much. I mean, you know what it is too? I'll be honest with you. I'm a nerd at heart, and I'll be honest, as a kid, dare I say, I had no quote unquote game. I was just myself. And I think that's the best thing you can be in life is just be yourself,
Well, yeah, listen, be yourself because if people like you, that means they like you.
Hell,
If you're trying to fake it and pretend you're someone else, they don't really like you. They like who you're pretending to be. So just be authentic.
yeah. Words of wisdom from Alex. Yes. Yes. See, I'll quote you. You dig what I'm putting down, so you know what's up.
I picked it up. I picked up what you put down.
Yep. Now I have to ask you. I'm gonna say this right now, Miss Ariel X. Evolve Fights, LFC. Anytime, man. I'd love to see you get in there with some of the LFC girls, man. Ariel X was LFC. Hello.
Do you think any of those females really stand a chance against me? I pity the fool, in the words of Mr. T.
I was about to say, what are you going to go challenge your Clubber Lang now, man? What's the one prediction? My goodness. Well, I mean,
That
I would think it would be exciting. I think it would be great for the audience to see someone with your stature and someone with your skill set, Yes?
Oh, I'd love it. I'd love to do it.
See? So people,
Break some necks and some hearts. It'd be great.
I was about to say, when you said breaking necks and breaking hearts, I went in the other direction. I was going to say, you're going to break some necks, cash and checks. Huh?
Oh, there you go. Listen, I'm a lover, not a bank account or I don't know, whatever that. Who cares about money when you can get the love?
First and foremost, lover, not a fighter. And I was about to say, it ain't about the bank account, it's about the love. Dollar bill, no for you. Money ain't a thing. That is you. When Jay-Z and Jermaine Dupri rap, top down screaming out money ain't a thing. They were talking about you. They were talking about you.
That's right. They had me in mind.
But no, yes, I think that's what a lot of people want to see. So people, if you want to see the lovely Miss Ariel X and LFC, when we put this out on social media, comment Ariel X to LFC, put the little hashtag, do what you got to do, because that's something that a lot of people want to see.
Yes, please. If the more people who tag me and hey, let's see Ariel X and LFC, the more I feel it might happen. So let's make it happen, folks.
Make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Put it out there. Just spread the word. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. And that's the great part of social media. And mind you, it does have its pros and cons. But then when you get to, help people like Ariel X do what they do and support, that makes it worthwhile, right? Yes?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Alrighty. And on that note, I will say this, Miss Ariel X, it's lovely, and you, my friend, are a delight. This is where I step back. Ladies first. It's not just a Queen Latifah song. Ooh, ladies first. I'll jam out to it right now. But I digress. Please the social media platforms for Evolved Fights, Les, Ariel X, where people can find you on the social media front. Please go right ahead.
All right. My Twitter for Evolved Fights is at Evolved Fights. That's Fights, FIGTH or HTS at the end. And then Evolved Fights Les is the handle for Twitter.
Now, I don't mean to laugh, but first and foremost,
because I spelled fights wrong.
It's about to say plural.
GHTS
at the end. I was about to start a new hashtag. Hashtag pluralize that bitch. Hashtag PT. Yeah. Yes. But no, you were correct. FIGHTS. I almost spelled it incorrectly. But yes, and Les with LEZ, not the S. Like
LEZ.
Yes.
Correct. Thank you for that.
Hey, man.
For me, I think I just know it. So I go, everyone knows it, right? No, nobody knows it. You have to tell them. Yes, LEZ.
Hey,
Z.
If you have the Z on it, that's emphasis right there. We don't need no S. We don't need no grammar. We just put the Z. We're extreme. That's what we are.
Yeah, exactly.
It's what the cool kids do. And plus, you get to make the Z like your Zorro. God's sake. I mean,
exactly.
Hello. But yes. Also, if you want to promote your Instagram as well, Miss Ariel X, and your Twitter as well, if you want, besides for Evolve Bites, your own social medias as well.
Well, thank you so much for that. I am on Twitter with Ariel XOXO, and my Instagram is at Ariel X Fights.
All right. The links will be in the description. First and foremost, you just proved lover, not a bank account, lover, not a friend. We got the X's and the O's in there, hugs and kisses on the social media front. Yes?
Yes, Ariel XOXO for Twitter. And yeah, thank you. If you post those links, I appreciate it. And if any of your listeners happen to follow me from your links, please let me know that that's how you found me, because it's always great to know where your traffic's coming from. And then I can, I can harass the LFC a lot more.
I like your style. So if you want to check out this podcast, check it out on lingerierefc.com. Check it out on soundcloud.com/LFC. Check it out on Anchor, TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, Google Play, wherever you get your podcasting audio platforms. Check it out on wrestlingwithwrestling.com. Just check it out wherever you get your LFC goodness, that flavor in your ear. Rest in peace to Craig Mack. We are here, we are there, we are everywhere. It is Lingerie FC, LFC, Lingerie Fighting Championships, the official LFC podcast, beauty, strength, and dominance, the three key elements that make women the work of art that they are. And Miss Ariel X, I include you in those sentiments.
I'm honored. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And do you have any
Yeah.
final words before we even wrap this up? Do you have any final words for your fans and to the people before we wrap this up?
Oh, I just want to say thank you to all the fans who already support me. I really appreciate it. Without you talking to me and brainstorming with me and helping my websites evolve, I couldn't be where I am without you. And for anyone who thinks you're too shy or thinks I'm too busy for you, I'm not. Just write me and let's make some great content. Let's talk about ideas. Let's make the world a better place.
For you and for me. And on that note, my name is Michael Larkin. Thank you guys for listening to another edition of the LFC podcast. Ariel Lex, it's been a pleasure. It's been a privilege. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Have a good
One. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the LFC podcast. My name is Mike Larkin, and joining me today is the woman behind Evolved Fights, ready to have a round two with me on the LFC podcast. It's none other than Miss Ariel X. Ariel, it's a pleasure and privilege to have you back on the show. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's nice to have a rematch with you.
Well, first and foremost, it's always a pleasure and a privilege just to pick your brain and talk to you, shoot the breeze, because you have a lot going on. You are doing your thing not only with the Evolve Fights, but you got My Jits Journey. You got the website coming out and coming up very, very soon. Can you tell us about My Jits Journey? Because I think it's very awesome to showcase the jiu-jitsu front and your background and just everything that you've accomplished in that walk of life as well.
Sure thing. MyJitsJourney.com is my love letter to martial arts, and it's essentially a diary for myself about my journey that is still constantly going. I got my black belt in December of 2019, but I feel like that was just the beginning of everything because I just started realizing that I I am just hitting the tip of the iceberg on information and knowledge in martial arts. And if I have been training martial arts for 15 years and I'm still learning new things, I realize that everything in life is like that. I think I know something, but I don't know it. And if I don't know what I don't know, then that's that's a problem. So I've kind of opened my eyes to the realization that I have so much to learn, and everyone I meet on a daily basis can teach me something. So my just journey is going to be a blog style uh, website where I talk about my journey throughout life with martial arts and philosophy, because believe it or not, martial arts and philosophy go hand in hand. There's a lot of deep inner uh, knowledge that you gain just about yourself when you're training. You learn a lot about yourself, a lot about other people, and it's a huge growth uh, mechanism. So that's what my just journey is going to be about. It's going to have a lot of recipes and cooking tips that I like to share because I love being healthy and I want to share that with everyone. So it's going to have a lot of everything in there.
First and foremost, I love that mindset. Number two, a lot that's also amazing that you put it that way so eloquently, because it's like not just with jiu-jitsu and just everything from the spiritual side of things and everything that we learn, like you talk about the philosophy side of things. We can also equate that to everyday life, because before we got on here, you were talking about, life is a blessing, which is very, very apropos, because everything that we go through, whether it be the obstacles, the ups and downs, we all can appreciate this thing that we call life and just keep on keeping on and just taking what life throws at us.
Absolutely. And part of my journey is learning how to perceive things. Like if you have the same event happening to two different people. You can have a rainy day, you think it's going to be sunny, and then all of a sudden a rain cloud comes in. And let's say you have a wedding that day, you're going to be bummed out. You're going to be like, man, this sucks. This is my wedding day. I have the clouds coming in. It's going to rain on my wedding. Oh, this is ruining my life. The next guy across the road, he's a farmer. He needs that rain. He's had a drought. He has to have this rain, and he sees those clouds and he's like, "Yes, my life is saved. This is amazing." So you can have the same event happen to different people, and it's their perspective and how they turn it that's going to make the difference in your life. You can have something happen to you and you can turn it into a negative, or you can have something happen to you and turn it into a positive. So it's really perspective. And every day when I train, that's what I'm learning is, wow, man, this sucked. Like this thing happened to me. How can I make it not happen again? How can I fix that mistake? And how can I turn this into a positive? So it's amazing. So I hope I can share that in in my blog.
I think you will, and I think you will absolutely succeed in that. And first and foremost, you want to talk about rain on your wedding day, man. I see Alanis Morissette style as on it. I mean, it's very apropos, but god dang, man. It's also like, I'll make it to a movie reference. Like when Disney Channel came out with Holes in 2003, right? They're at Camp Green Lake. It's based off the book by Louis Sinchar. You know, at the end of the movie, they never get rain. You know, they're digging all these holes, they're learning the discipline, but then it finally rains. It's like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? It's that equivalent where it's just like it never rains here, then it finally rains because they're out there, they're hot, they're digging the holes. But at the end of the day, you're just waiting for that rain. You're looking for something to just cool you off on a hot summer day, and bada bing, bada boom, we got rain at the end of the movie. So I mean, hey, a lot of people, like you said, the farmer needs the rain. You know, it's one of those things where you look at it from different perspectives, as you so eloquently put it, and it's like, you know what? Hey, some people need it, some people don't. But at the end of the day, we all need a little something, something to believe in, and something that really can help us in this thing that we call life.
Yeah, and the fact of the matter is, whether you want it or you don't want it, it's happening. You
Mm-hmm.
can't control that.
Yep.
It's gonna happen. So change your mindset, turn it into a positive, find a way to make it work for you.
Agreed. And I will say this as well. You find a lot of things that really work for you. I mean, I've looked at what you've done on Instagram with your Jits Fit chick. God dang, man, you're posting a lot of stuff where you're looking great from the bodybuilding side of things. You're doing yoga. You're having some cheat meals, which I'm going to say right now, that pizza looked delicious. I saw that little Instagram TV that you did, man. If there's
Ah,
if
I
there's
love
any
pizza.
if there's anything to have on your cheat meal, Ariel, how can you not go wrong with some pizza?
Pizza's my favorite cheat meal. People ask me, this is like a frequently asked question, like what do you love eating, or what kind of diet do you have? And I love eating clean because I have great recipes, and I've just turned my lifestyle into a healthful one. So I eat clean every day, but I'm human and I love carbs. So pizza is my go-to, but I have a very specific pizza that I like, and it's the Naples style pizza, which is the thin crust, kind of soggy, not soggy crust, but it's like a more soft crust, and with it very simple, just tomato sauce and basil and cheese, and it's insane. And I have traveled the entire world, and everywhere I go, I look for their Naples style margarita pizza, and I found some pretty good ones, but that one in Las Vegas that I did the review on was is one of my favorites.
Well, first and foremost, you went beast mode on that pizza, and I love to see it because I'll be honest with you, when it comes to pizza, or just in general, man, it's that food. To quote my grandmother, manja. You manjed all over
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
But I mean, that's some things that you have to do. I mean, from eating clean and just really taking care of yourself, mind, body, and soul. Everybody needs that cheat meal from pizza. I mean, sometimes you need a little chocolate chip cookie. You need a little something, something to really uplift your spirits. I'll be honest with you. When McDonald's had the chocolate chip cookies back in the day, I was all up in that on a pot of neck bones to the break of dawn. Give me some chocolate chip cookies, yes. But at the end
Absolutely.
but at the end of the day, it's like, God dang, man, we're doing what we need to do. And I got to say, from a stance, too, as well, besides you being as fit as you are, I look at it from a stance, too. It's like, from the imagery standpoint, Ariel X, it's something that's very inspiring, and that's something that's very admirable just to see someone of your beauty and your strength, and yes, dominance, to put the tie together with the shizo. It's one of those things where it's very admirable and it's very inspiring for a lot of young women and women just in general to see your overall imagery from that standpoint.
Well, I appreciate that very much. You know what I've been thinking about lately is I go to the gym nowadays and I see all these young, I'm going to call them kids because they're kids to me. They could be my child. They're 20 years younger than I am. These young females, and they're working out and they're putting their muscles on, and it's making me so happy to see this evolution in society where women are not scared to lift anymore. Going to let you know, 20 years ago, or I started lifting probably about 15 years ago, and I got, every rude comment. Oh, you're too muscular. You look like a dude. That's disgusting. But I wasn't doing it for other people. I was doing it for me. And it's really cool now to see younger folks doing it, younger women especially, because I used to hear all the time that they were scared of lifting because they didn't want to look like a dude. And I was like, listen, if it was that easy to get buff and ripped, like it everyone would do it because it's awesome. But you're not going to go to the gym and lift weights and automatically look like a She-Hulk. That takes time, effort, energy. A lot of the times it takes drugs to get that big. So if you're not doing drugs, then you're not going to look like a She-Hulk. So don't worry about it. But it's really cool to see this whole society change where females are like, yeah, I want to work out. I want to be ripped. It's cool being ripped. Now it's the cool thing. Whereas 15 years ago, you were name called and body shamed and uh, misgendered all the time. So it's interesting. It's good. I see growth in society. It's awesome.
I will say this first and foremost. When you said these kids, man, I will say this as well. You stop that because age ain't a factor and age ain't a number because you're still killing it what you do, Miss Ariel X. These youngins nowadays, you're talking about these youngins. But I
Oh,
also
the youngins.
the
Oh,
youngins.
they're kids. They their brains are still kids.
All
That's
right, very
all.
true. All right, very true. Very much wisdom right there. Okay, I like how you spend that. All right, that's cool. That's cool. But no, I look at it from a stance too, Ariel, where it's like you're so eloquently right on this. And we talked about this last time. Like the term mannish would get thrown around a lot because back in the day, like if you see a woman like that, we have this perception of like, I'll be honest with you, like a Tyra Banks and what we've seen just from America's Next Top Model and this type where it's just like, you know what? You know what I'm saying? We got the slimness, we got what have you, but we see nowadays with curves and different bodies and different shapes, which women are immaculate with and make it beautiful. But it's like that's cool just to see that because you have women just lifting, being very disciplined, and really just going to look the best that they can be. And I'll be honest with you, it's something that I mean we see it in time with muscle worship because that is a thing. It's something that guys can worship and appreciate because of the grit and the determination and the overall grind that women are and just people in general. So I mean, it's very applicable and it's very admirable. So I mean, how can you not go wrong with a beautiful fit chick with some muscles ready to take on the world and just destroy anything in their path, you know?
Yeah, I love it. It like you said, the appealing part of it is the mentality. Someone who is disciplined and puts the work in and, does it over and over and over and it's painful and it's hard and they're sacrificing and that is regardless of what they look like, doesn't really matter what they look like, just knowing that they do that, it's freaking amazing. That mindset is attractive.
And look at China. I'll put China as an example, God rest her soul. When women wanted to get into professional wrestling, there's many women like China who was just amazing in that feat and that strength. I mean, she was called the ninth wonder of the world, and she lived up to that name. You look at women nowadays like Beth Phoenix, who killed it when she was the Glamazon, looked absolutely beautiful because she was not the typical norm that you would see in the WWE. So it's something like that where it's just not only from an attractive standpoint and an attraction, it's something that a lot of people can gravitate towards. And I'll use you as an example, Miss Ariel X. A lot of people can gravitate towards you, not just because you look, but I got to say, you got that vibrancy about you and that personality, and dare I say, smile that really attracts a lot of people about your overall being.
I try to be approachable because there's no reason to be an asshole to anyone. Even if they're being an asshole to you first, you can just block them or mute them, but there's never a reason to be an asshole. So I try to be approachable. So if people approach me in a nice, kind way, I give them kindness back. And even if they're kind of a dick at first, I'll try to show kindness. You got to be the change in the world you want to be. So be nice to everyone. There's no reason to be an asshole.
So I mean, when you're talking about all these dicks that come out, you have to outweigh the dickery, if you will, so to speak. There's a term for you, outweigh the dickery. You gotta
Outweigh
give
the dickery.
outweigh the dickery and just really just see past that. You know what you are kind of like? You're kind of like Will Ferrell and the other guys where he's trying to get to Mark Wahlberg, and no, I'm not talking about the female body inspector. It says FBI on the mug, but it's one of those things where you're trying to get down through people's anger walls. That's what you're doing. You're like Will Ferrell and the other guys trying to break down that anger wall, if you will.
Yeah. Well, they're coming at you with anger for something. It has nothing to do with me. If they're mad,
Of
they're
course.
not mad at me. They got something else going on. I'm like, all right, whatever. I hope your life gets better. Have a great day. Have an outstanding life. But you know,
Yeah. All right.
if they want to pretend like if they want to make an issue like they're mad at me for something, I'm not involved in that world. Like they live in a different reality than I do. But I can't help their I can't change how they feel. That's it's not my responsibility, but I can be the nice guy. That's my responsibility. That's all.
See, pearls of wisdom right there. Pearls of wisdom indeed, ma'am. I think what I also like about you too is because we're also in a society and a generation where social media is the be all end all, from a technological standpoint, excuse me, and everything that we see nowadays. You're kind of like the great part about it because you're kind of like when it comes to social media, you know when to take off and just sit back, relax, and just do your thing because we can become overconsumed with a lot of social media. And you and I have talked about this in the past off the mic, but it's just like, God dang, man, we need that for ourselves just to get off social media and just enjoy life.
Absolutely. A lot of social media, it's this weird. double-edged sword, right? Like, there's a lot of really cool stuff on the internet. If I need to learn how to change the thread in my sewing machine, I can go on the internet and I can find someone who will teach me how to do that for free. And it's amazing the access to knowledge that I have. And I'm so incredibly thankful for that part. And then there's the dark parts of the internet where, or not even the dark parts of the internet. You just open your social media page and all of a sudden you have a ton of people telling you how dumb you look or how stupid you are, like how what a whore you are and how you whatever, whatever it is that they're going to say, regardless if there's merit to it or not. And it can just really affect your whole day. So sometimes you just tune it out, you can block the people, but you know, the thing I've noticed about the internet is there is a lot of just fake stuff. People are faking it till they make it. They put on a facade in their social media that, oh, like here's something I heard the other day, which I thought, man, this is hilarious, it's brilliant, but how sad is this? My friend went on a scuba diving trip and there were like 30 people on the boat with him, which was very interesting because there's not normally that big of a scuba dive group. And when he went down, he's a master diver, so he went down, he did his big dive, but on the way back to wherever they were going, you know, back to land, he was talking to the ship captain and he was saying how he observed there was such a large crowd and he didn't even notice any of those people in the water. And the captain said, oh yeah, this is our Instagram package. They pay full price for their tour and they never get certified. We just put a mask on them, they go underwater, we take a picture for their Instagram and they come back up. And I was just like, holy shit, you're telling me these people are paying a couple $100 just to go out and they spend their entire morning driving out on a boat to the middle of the ocean, take a picture, and then go home for their Instagram. Like, and I'm thinking to the people looking at their post, I would be watching that being like, wow, what an achievement. This person is going out and they do all these really cool, adventurous things. And wow, they're really living their best life, aren't they? But that's not the reality. They're lying to us. They're freaking lying to us. And then I hear all these models talking about competition with other models. Oh, did you see this girl? She did that. Oh my God, she's doing so well. She's doing this. I don't believe anything I see online. Everything is a lie. Everything is a lie. So don't keep up with the Joneses. Just do whatever makes you happy. And listen, if doing fake scuba trips makes you happy, do it. I don't care. But I just thought it was really, I thought it was brilliant. What a brilliant business person. Like he has all this extra income with little risk, now you don't have to worry about these people like destroying coral or drowning or not not doing whatever they're supposed to be doing, and you're still making your money. It's awesome.
Oh, absolutely. And I will say this, you kind of sound like my mother because when it comes to social media, she's just like, when she looks at a lot of those photos, she's like, it's all bullshit, Like these people,
Yeah, it's all lies. It's a fucking bullshit. And I have I keep up with marketing and I just learn. I know. I keep up with these things and I know everything online is a lie. It's it if you could sort through that, you'll be happy with your life and you'll be able to ascertain things and just go, okay, this is real, this is fake. I still can't tell what's real. Especially now we have deep fake stuff going on where I'm like, oh man, this is bonkers. Okay. So I just you know, you can't trust anybody. You can't even trust your lion eyes.
Yeah, first and foremost, Eagle style, man. Those lion eyes, man. I like your style, man. There's a little bit of Eagles reference there. Okay, so I will also add, think about that because it's like when we see all these images on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, what have you, it's just like people post this stuff, but it's just like, again, it's like you look at it and it's like, okay, Yeah, no. And the reason why I say it like that is like, yeah, no, because it's like really like you're putting this stuff into the social media realm, but it's like, are you doing it just because this is how you're feeling? Or is it just because you want to see like likes? Because we're also in a day and age where it's like likes and views and everything for that stuff matters, which back in the day, that shit really didn't matter that much. You know what I'm saying? We do it because we love it, but it's like, god dang, now it's all about likes, it's all about views and subscribes. And it's just like, this is how where we've come as people in a generation where it's all about the clicks, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's a psychological thing. There's a chemical thing happening in your brain when you get those likes. You get this, the reward center in your brain is triggered, and you get those chemicals that make you feel good. So I get it. And it can literally be addictive where you crave that chemical getting released. So you need to do more and you got to do more. And uh, it's, it's interesting, I guess. I'd rather people post on social media than go do dangerous or bad things, I guess, like there's worse things people could be doing. So it's weird. We just live in a weird time.
That we do, but I gotta say, sometimes there is good weird, and sometimes there's a lot of weird weird. But I gotta say, you, my friend, are that good type of weird because again, we talk about that vibrancy, and when I say good weird, that's the utmost sincerity and respect because you're always so vibrant and you're always so, dare I say, you're always taking life to the limit and sky is the limit because god dang man, I'm looking at your social media and I did see you did the hike up to Mammoth Lakes, doing it as only you could do. You got your dog with you, you're just climbing, you're having fun, and really just appreciating the beautiful thing that is this nature. I wanted to ask you about that because, again, beautiful, you're hiking, you're getting outside with the outdoors and really just enjoying life as it is. And especially a lot of us with everything that we've gone through with COVID and everything, man, it's just nice to get outdoors and just smell the nature and just breathe everything in and take it in, if you will, Ariel.
That was all I could do during COVID. Everything was closed. I couldn't go anywhere. Travel was not really an option. So I went hiking almost every single day during COVID. There's just a connection to nature that you get when you can take your phone off, don't play your radio, don't have headphones in, don't have a phone on you. I mean, do the things that you need to be safe, like if you are going on a big hike, you want to take a satellite phone and tell people where you're going. So if you get lost or don't come back, they can go looking for you. But you don't need to have your cell phone with you and on 24/7, which is ironic since I made that post and I had my cell phone with me recording that. So I get it. I get the hypocrisy. I get that I sound like a moron talking about it. But if I tell you I went hiking every single day of my life and then made one video post, I think I'm allowed to do one video post.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest, you're not oversaturating the social media, if you will. There's another term, oversaturating the
Oh
social
yeah,
media.
you gotta feed the internet. Gotta do it.
Oh,
Yep.
but no, I
No.
mean, it's a beautiful thing. And I don't mean to cut you off, but god dang, man, like you did it the right way because it's like, all right, I think I could do one video. It's not really a hypocrisy because you're not constantly, oh, here I hiked today, here I hiked over there, where you're pretty much it's just like, okay, we get it. You're
Yeah.
hiking. So you did it the right way, though.
Or I'm sitting there, I'm trying to be connected with nature. Let me post this video about how I'm connecting to nature and disconnecting while I post this video and tell you about it's like, that's very not that's the exact opposite of what your message is.
I gotta say, I mean, with everything nowadays, like the biggest thing in social media that's really sweeping the nation is the TikTok, where everybody's just dancing or doing stuff like, just making funny videos. I mean, we had that back in the day with Vine, which is very similar to this, but this is like an updated version of Vine and it's TikTok. I gotta say, TikTok is another thing that's really sweeping the nation, man. It's
Yeah. There's some really cool TikToks. I will be honest with you. I don't feel like I have anything to contribute to TikTok. I could post videos of me being goofy or dancing, but I don't feel like that adds value to anything. Like, I feel like I would just be copying other people doing it. So I personally don't go on it and do anything performance wise or posting wise. But I love there's a group of beatboxers on TikTok and they're so fun to watch. And then there's this guy who wrangles alligators. I'll watch him. There's a couple genres on the TikTok platform that I enjoy, and I enjoy their short segments that they're not like 10 minutes long. Like I give me a really good feel good story in less than a minute, and I'm happy. That's amazing.
Beautifully said. And first and foremost, that is a mix for TikTok, man. Beatboxing and guy wrangling alligators. That that is
I
something.
wish I knew the names of the folks so I could like give them a shout out or be like, hey guys, check this out. I don't. Just look up alligator wrangler. There's like one guy. I don't know. Maybe more. I don't know. And any beatboxer on TikTok is worth checking out. They are so fun.
I was gonna say you're not gonna dance on there, man. You don't have the hips that don't lie there, Miss Ariel. You don't want to. No.
I just don't feel like it would contribute any value. Like, if people want to see it, I'll just send them the video. Here you go. Here's go to. I don't know. What I don't. When I look at that, I'm like, does this? Am I providing any information? Am I giving value here, or is it even entertaining? And at least I don't know. I don't feel like it would be, so I don't. I don't try.
I'm just saying, if Ricky Martin can shake his bonbon, I mean, come on, Ariel. That's all I'm saying.
Is he on TikTok? Is
if,
Ricky is my Ricky Martin on TikTok?
if he is on TikTok, I'd be the first to tell you. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Hey, man, I'm just saying. I'm sure he would be. I mean, if Ricky Martin can post like the nostalgia factor of living La Vida
Yeah,
Loca and waking up
I
in New
would
York
check him
City,
out. I really enjoy him. I think as far as I know, he seems like he's a decent human being. I love that he came out and he's enjoying that, and I think that's fucking cool. So I'd follow him. He's cool.
that was the thing too. Because as a kid growing up in the '90s, like everybody wanted to out Ricky Martin, and I'm like, leave the guy alone. You know?
Yeah, who cares? Why do people give a fuck about other people's sexuality? Like, do I have to go talk to you and be like, hey, did you hear Joe Biden is straight? Yeah, our president is straight. Fucking yeah, he's putting his dick in vaginas. Like, who? Okay, we don't care about that. Nobody cares. But if it's a girl on girl, we're supposed to care, or a guy on girl, or a guy on trans, or trans. Like, why do we fucking care? Who cares? Like, you only care because it matters to you. That says more about you than it does about the person. So it's so bizarre to me. It's bonkers.
I mean, we do have Pride Month, and a lot of people were talking in the wrestling community. Hey, did you see that Toni Storm came out as bisexual, who's in WWE? And I'm like, okay, that's cool. So she's bisexual. That's awesome.
Cool. I just assume everyone's bisexual. That's just the way I live my life. Is I just assume everyone's bisexual. Why not? Let's. I'm surprised when they're not. Not
We're
shocked.
curious.
Not let down. It's like, oh, I just thought everyone was bisexual. Sorry, I got. Oh.
Hey, we're curious. That's what we are. Curious about you, loving. That's what we are, man. We're
Yeah.
Atlantic Star on that front. All right.
Hey, cool, man. Do whatever you want.
That's the thing. That's the thing too. It's just because we're in a day and age where, first and foremost, like we were talking about bodybuilding, and this will equate where it's just like we really don't care about people's sexuality, but then some people will have that mindset. But at the end of the day, it's their lives. Let them live their lives. They're not hurting anybody. Just let them enjoy who they want to have sex
Yeah,
with.
as long as it's all consensual and everyone's on the up and up and they're not lying or cheating to a spouse about it, I don't fucking care. And again, it says more about the person who's making the big deal about it. Like, it says more about that person than it does about the bisexual or gay or the person in I don't know, question is the word I want to use, but the person being talked about.
Now
So.
you said it right there. The being questioned. Yes. Now you got that. You used the right verbiage. You're correct.
Well, I don't want to say. See, I'm trying to be like politically correct.
Of
Like,
course.
why do we question their sexuality? Like, I don't want to question someone's. I don't want to fucking think about anyone's sexuality. I don't care. Like, it doesn't. It's so weird to me.
Hey, we're like George Michael. We just want your sex. We don't care about sexual. We just want the sex. That's what it is. That's what it is. Yes.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Put a little spin on that. You know what I'm saying? You
Put
just
it
want.
that way. Yeah, I get it.
Hey. Well, speaking of that, I will say this because you miss Evolved Fights, Les. There's a lot of sex, there's a lot of beauty, there's a lot of loving. And what I love about it, too, is first and foremost, because we talked about this last time, one of the best platforms out there for some great fight action, for some great sensuality. It's really one of those things, people, where if you've not checked out Ariel and the amazing work that she does on Evolved Fights and Evolved Fights, Les, you are missing out on a lot. Because I will say, because we were talking about the beginning, the 15 years in jiu-jitsu, just learning the pearls of wisdom that you've developed and you try to put onto others, which is absolutely lovely. I will say this, you put a lot of pearls and wisdom to everybody that gets involved in Evolved Fights because you're doing the damn thing with all these ladies.
I'm blessed to be able to do those websites. I am able to get porn stars to come in and have them do something that is probably out of their comfort zone, as far as there is no other website doing this. So I know when they come to my website, this is one of the first times they are doing this thing that I'm asking them to do. And I love seeing them enjoy it. I think the majority of the models say they love it, and I've inspired them to actually start training, which is amazing to me that they are as passionate about it as I am. So having sharing my passion with people, and not just sharing it but influencing my passion to them, it's huge to me. It's amazing. It's so cool.
It's something that really drives a lot of people because at the same time, and I'm going to say this about men, speaking as a man myself, a lot of our preferences, I mean, we're very unique in what we like. And I got to say, a lot of men and a lot of women do enjoy the sensualness and just the overall kick assery, if you will, and the discipline that goes into it. Because it's like it's beautiful girls just kicking butt, but at the same time looking sexy all in all, which is what I compare a Lingerie FC to. Because again, it's one of those things when it comes to LFC, we got beautiful women kicking butt and taking names of looking sexy at the same time. And what I also love is the LFC Evolve Fights relationship, because you've had a lot of the women of LFC on, from Shelby Paris to Daisy
Hmm.
Ducati, to Agatha Cannibal Carter, who I'm going to say right now about Miss Agatha Delicious. Overall, apropos, because my goodness, she is looking absolutely fabulous. She is kicking butt on all cylinders.
She is one of my all-time favorite human beings on the planet. And I will let you in on a little secret. She calls me up before every match, and she will, like, let's say the week of, she calls me up, hey, I really liked some of those tips you gave me. Can I show up to your studio and you can drill with me and show me some moves? And I've had models ask this before, and I will say yes 100% of the time. And I'd say 80% of them actually show up. So I will be sitting at my studio waiting, 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 and then they don't show up. And call them up, hey, did I misunderstand the time? And they're like, oh, yeah, I can't make it. I say make excuses. Like, you're the one who asked me for this. I'm accommodating it. Now you're making an excuse. Like, it's fine. I don't care. But whatever. So 20% of the girls and guys, yeah, they'll show up and they will do it and they will love it and they appreciate it. She's the only one who does it for every single one of her shoots. She takes it very serious. She wants to learn. She's hungry for knowledge. She's uh, great at what she does. She just loves being good at what she does, and she's not going to do anything unless she can put 100% of herself into it. And I admire that. I think she is just one of the coolest human beings on the planet.
I will let you in on a secret as well, people. If you have chocolate chip cookies in your home, Agatha Cannibal Carter will eat you out of that because she has a sweet tooth and she is. What I love
Oh,
about her.
really?
Yes. So if you got some chocolate chip
Oh.
cookies, man, she'll hit you up. Because no, here's the thing. This is what I love about LFC and getting to know a lot of the great girls. Miss Jenny Bloody Valentine, Jennifer Thomas, and Agatha Cannibal Carter, Miss Agatha Delicious. They love them some cookies, man. Because like I said, you just might want to hide the cookies, but at the same time, you want to have cookies with them. Because god dang, man, chocolate chip cookies. That's the type of cookies, man. Just give me a little chip boy chewy. Just give me some McDonald's cookie. It's the cookie. It's Cookie Monster. It's what it is. It's the
Oh,
cookie.
I love that. Oh, okay. Well, now I know what to put on my sets in the green room for the models. That's fun. Yeah,
Hey,
she's great. Um, yeah, everything about her really cool. I know that she trains for LFC too. She tells me about how she's been doing, like, oh, I'm working on this move for that, and I'm doing this for that. You're just not. Yeah, most of the girls don't take their jobs serious, or what I'm saying. Like, they just think they'll show up and wing it, which is a lot of the time in content marketing or content making, you get what you get. I get it. That's fine. And but she takes her job very serious. And she's a producer herself, so she performs the way she hopes her performers perform for her. So she's she's got it, man. She's 100%. She's got it. Whatever it is, she has it.
Agreed wholeheartedly. And I will say this about ACC. She will be making her return back to LFC on Sturgis August 12th, 13th, and 14th. She's coming to Sturgis, South Dakota. She's going to be coming out on a bike. She's going to be looking as only as she can look, and she's going to be killing it. I look forward to seeing who our opponents are going into those 3 nights at Sturgis, which, first and foremost, man, 3 nights all in a row, kicking ass, kicking booty. Also, just the overall hard work and grit that will be going into those 3 nights, man. That's 3 nights, boom, 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 right after another. And I also look at it from a stance with you, Miss Ariel X, when it comes to Evolve Fights and when it comes to what you're doing with Submissive X. I have seen that website, ma'am. I also have to give that one credit and a shout out because, again, beautiful, and you are in a lot of amazing scenes on that site as well.
Well, it's my side, it's submissive X, so I'm the X in there and I play the submissive. And I have had people tell me, male fans tell me that they really enjoy the submissive X site because um, they enjoy BDSM, but sometimes when they watch a scene, they get this icky feeling like, I don't know, it looks like they're going a little rough on the girl, and I don't want to watch that. But they tell me when they watch my content and they know that I produce it and I'm directing it and I'm in control and they know my history with BDSM and all the things, and they love they know that I'm taking care of myself, that I'm in control, and that it I can make it go as rough as I need it to go, and or if I need it backed off, I can back it off, and they know that it's a safe and sane production, and that's what makes it so enjoyable for them to see me be enjoying that, which is the same thing they enjoy. They're like, "Well, she's into what I'm into, and I can tell she loves it, and I can tell that she keeps doing this over and over and over again, so she's my girl." So, I love it. So, and I wanna say thank you to the fans for communicating that with me. I never thought about that before, being like, "Oh, sometimes they don't know if the performers are okay, and they know that I'm okay in my production." So that was something I never thought about. So listening to your audience is so important to every single content producer out there. You gotta listen to your audience. They are so brilliant. They give great feedback.
I will say this first and foremost, man. If you've not seen submissivex.com, man, there's a lot of great content, BDSM, which I'm going to say right now, there's a lot of whoop going on in there. There's a lot of people getting whooped, but I got to say you, and I can see where people get that because a lot of the scenes where it's just like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? Because there are, and I love your scenes, but it's like, god dang, but at the same time, it's like the professionalism and the discipline because you're taking care of yourself, you know what I'm saying? And that's a lot of thing that people are into as well, the BDSM thing. And I got to say, with what you ladies do in your scenes and your content, it really portrays from the artistic standpoint.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Well, I hope it does because, you know, I do try. So
No, you
thank
do.
you for noting.
Oh, no, you're very welcome. It showcases, it really does. It shines through your work, Ariel. And I also look at it from a stance too. I mean, you're not doing like what was popular. I'll look at it from a stance too. I'm a pop culture nerd. Miami Vice did an episode about a snuff film where the where the guy got arrested
Mm,
in a snuff film. So I mean, we're not going to the snuff direction for God's sake. I mean, it's cool, but we're not taking it to that level, you know?
correct. No, no, no. We just have fun with it, and listen, I have one body, and I know that, and I want to test my body as much as possible. I want to take it to the limits. I want to test my brain. I want to take my brain to the limit. I love that challenge. I think most athletes are secretly into BDSM, whether they know it or not. Your coach is going to scream at you. They're going to discipline you. They're going to yell at you. They're going to say whatever they need to say to motivate you. And they're basically you're like top, right? So, and exercise in sports is painful. You push your body past the limits you thought it could do. And BDSM is the same way. It's amazing. There's so many affinities between sports and BDSM. I wish the world could accept it a little bit more.
I think I've always been very open minded about the BDSM world because I do remember the the True Life episode back in the 90s and 2000s before we got really out there with the technological episodes that they did on MTV. It was one of those things where they focused on like the dominatrixes and the BDSM world. And I'm like, all right, I can appreciate this because guys are into this, get the old ball and gag styles, the things, the whips and the chains and everything. And I'm like, okay, I can see why people like it. I mean, god dang, man, it hurts like a son of a bitch because you've seen all the red marks that they have on them. But I guess at the end of the day, if you're into it, you're into it. And I always appreciated that. I've always looked at it from an open-minded standpoint, I guess, to broaden my horizons, if you will, Miss Ariel X, where it's just
Mm.
like, you know what? Hey, that's cool. I mean, I think a lot of people, like you were saying, should be very open-minded, just broaden horizons and really expand, if you will.
Yeah, it's and it's like, you get the whips and the chains and the implements, and they can look terrifying and scary, and they can cause a lot of damage and intense, uh, you know, feelings, physical feelings. But there's a lot more to it than the physical. It's 99.9% mental, and you got to be working with someone you trust and somebody that can push your limits without breaking your boundaries. And that's, when you're tied up and you're so vulnerable, you can't move. You have to know that you can trust the person you're with to, work within your limits. And that's great. That's that part of it, and that trust and that letting go of fear of, you know, whatever it is going on in your head. That's the biggest part of it. And I don't know if you follow UFC fighters at all, but it was Diego Sanchez recently. He's been having some drama. I guess the UFC cut him from their roster or whatever. And there's this controversy between Diego Sanchez and his coach. And I saw this video of his coach has Diego Sanchez tied up in bondage, and he's like kind of like knocking him around with like a, I don't know, not a baseball bat, but like a baton or something. And they posted it online, and people, there were mixed reviews. Everyone's like, "Oh, this is fucking crazy. Oh my god." But I was like, "This is amazing. This is such good training for an athlete. Like this is powerful." So, it was cool for me to see. I was like, "I love this. I think this is amazing." But to see all the negative comments of people who just didn't understand it, I just wish there was more understanding and more people got it, Like,
I did see the news of that, and that's the thing too. Like, I mean, he's teaching him all this stuff, but then people are like, "Oh my god, I can't believe this." But it's like it adds discipline to him, and it really adds a lot. Like he's learning, but a lot of people are like, "Okay, that's different kind of methods." But I'm like, it's methods. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes there's a little tough love. Sometimes it's like, "Yo, let's expand here. Let's try this." But I mean, hey, some people can take it, some people can't. But I look at from Diego Sanchez. I mean, it's Diego the Nightmare Sanchez for God's sakes. I mean, hey, more power to him though. I look forward to seeing what he does in UFC. But yeah, that was a crazy article to read.
it was interesting. I could see both sides where I'm like, okay, I can see how this is very alarming to people who are not, versed in this. So I guess I call that ignorant. They just don't know. They just haven't. They don't even understand it, but they're voicing their opinion, and I think that's a little ignorant. But I think we all do that. I
Yep.
think we all form an opinion, and then we pretend like we're experts on something, even though we're not. Like I said, I'm still learning everything about jujitsu, and I've been doing it 15 years, and I have a black belt. I will admit that I probably know very little compared to what is potentially out there for me to know. So I have to take a step back of everything. And when it comes to politics, science, e- anything and everything, whether it's what we consider facts or anything, an opinion where I go, you know what? I just don't know. Somebody knows more than I do, but I don't know anything. So I'll just listen and go from there. But I'm not going to get a passionate opinion and be so angry about it because I don't understand it. Like, why would I make myself angry over like these people were getting angry at what they were seeing Diego Sanchez doing? And I was like, why would you allow your emotions to be so passionately negative about something you don't understand? Just shut up about it and move it. Just don't watch the video then. Go away.
I will say this first and foremost. What they need to do is like anger management, man. They got to hum a little "I Feel Pretty" and some Goose Frog is what they need. Then they need
Yeah.
but also, Ariel, I look at it from a stance too. What's very cool, like you're talking about, you're constantly learning, and that's the thing that's great about life and just in general different art forms and combative natures. It's like you don't stop learning. Like you said, 15 years. I'm a black belt. You're jiu-jitsu. You're a killer. But it's like, you know what? Hey, you know what? I get to learn more and add more to my arsenal and my repertoire. I also look at it from a stance too to compare it to LFC. Like you're talking about Agatha really wanting to know some pearls of wisdom and know some tips. That's the thing with LFC that I love is because a lot of girls, the camaraderie, and they want to continue to learn. But then there's some, like you mentioned, where it's just like they have that perception of, oh, we're just rolling around in lingerie. They don't understand what really comes with LFC. And you just want to look at them go like, what the fuck? But at the same time, it's just like, yeah, you never stop learning. And that's the stuff that you can appreciate and respect going forward with everybody that comes in the Evolve fights and that stick with Evolve fights as well as the LFC front.
Yeah, there's special people that will you can tell when you meet them, when you have somebody on your mats and you're like, this person cares and they love what this what they're doing, and they may not be the best, but they're giving it 100%. And I care more about the people who are giving it 100% and might not know what they're doing. I care more about them than the guy who knows what they're doing and is just like an asshole and doesn't seem to care, you know?
We'll look at it from a stance too, and I'm going to say this because I told you about just recently how you're a killer when it comes to this jujitsu stuff, and just in general, you're a killer at life. But Miss Ariel X, another word I'm going to add to you, you're hardcore. And the reason why I say you're hardcore, not just from a stance from the physical aspect, man, but from the discipline and just everything that you do with Evolve fights and the content, man, you're hardcore. You put a lot of work into it, and that's what truly makes you hardcore, Miss Ariel X.
I appreciate you noticing there's a lot of work in what I do. I think people see the end product and they just go, "Oh, it must be easy because you know, look at how it looks. It's just it's there, it exists." So she just snapped her fingers and it happened. And a lot of people don't think about the behind the scenes and everything it takes to run a legitimate legal business the way I do. Like, it's there's a lot of work.
Also, I look at it from a stance too. I've also seen a lot of the footage that you posted on Instagram for some from your jiu-jitsu tournaments. I mean, bad mamma jamma. I'm like, I don't want none of this. I don't want none, is what I'm saying. But at the same time, I respect it because it really does show your athleticism and it really just shows your discipline. To reiterate that point again, but god dang, man, I'm really happy to see you showcasing some of those jiu-jitsu tournaments and a lot of the stuff that you learned along the years, and really just showcasing your accomplishments and achievements.
Thanks. I can't wait to have some tournaments from my black belt. I have not yet been able to compete as a black belt because COVID hit a couple months right after I got my black belt and tournaments were stopped. And some of the tournaments that I frequent have still not come back to California. So I guess I could travel to Texas or something in Florida, but I just with my work, I can't do that. So I can't wait to be able to get back to the tournaments, competing, and be able to post some of my black belt tournaments.
I gotta say, first and foremost, I'm gonna use another pop culture reference because it's what I do, and here comes my nerdiness again. You're kind of like Filter. Take a picture from '99. You're having him kicking and screaming. Could you want to take my picture? Because I won't remember. That is you in a heart.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
I'm just saying, man, it fits. Now, do you even remember that song? You remember Filter? Take a
Yes.
Okay, that's the thing. A lot of people, when it comes to music nowadays, and this is why I love you for that, because it's just like, people would look at that stuff and like, oh, that's from 22 years ago or what have you. But I'm like, that song lives a test of time. The man's under the water.
It's
It's very
beautiful.
powerful. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
beautiful. That's what it is. And I got to say, from music and just to everything that we discussed today in this forum, another thing I just want to discuss really briefly is, man, because last time I had you on the show, we encompassed a lot, much like we're doing today in this forum. But god dang, man, there's a lot of people that want to see you as a part of the LFC roster, competing for LFC, man. We got to get you on the LFC card in the future, Miss Ariel X.
We should talk about I don't know how to go about doing that, like what I guess we'll talk offline about it, just the specifics of it because I'm not against it. I just I don't know where you guys do your stuff. So
I,
I
I will
guess
say,
we'll
go to lingerfc.com, and yes, we will talk off air. I was about to say, man, I'm going to use this term. Never thought I would have to use this, Alex, and I know you're not against it, but I was going to say, man, you're going to big league us is what you're doing. You're big leaguing. You're just too good. No, but in a stance, I'll help you with that afterwards. But people, if you are interested and you want to be an LFC fighter like Ariel X and you don't know what the hell to do or you don't know where to go, if you're a little confused, or if you're a little shaky, if you're a little apprehensive, if you will, go to lingerfc.com and we'll get you started. And I'll have the emails and have everything for everybody to check out and really become a member of the LFC Lingerie Fighting Championships roster. And besides our roster, check out the Evolve Fights roster. Ariel X, it's Hump Day, and you just put out a video about Hump Day. Tell them about Hump Day really quickly, man, because you made a beautiful post.
Well, hump day is Wednesday. Every week you have to get over the hump. The middle of the week is Wednesday. So it's been, it's a slang term here in the States. We call it hump day. But on hump day, we also update Evolve Fights Lesbian Edition. So Evolve Fights les.com gets updated every Wednesday to celebrate hump day because the girls end up humping at the end of their matches. So it was my way to have a little fun. I didn't want to have both sites update on Friday. I have members who are members on both sites and getting, I guess some people like to binge watch and watch everything all at once, but I figured some people like to mix it up a little bit. Wednesday gives them Thursday to recover their genitals from yanking it so hard so that Friday they can jerk off all over again. We got Wednesday is our hump day.
So I can't follow that, but I'm going to try here. My goodness, woman. So you got London and Kate Carter that you posted. I'm going to say right now, first and foremost, two amazing and beautiful women. Oh, my goodness. If you've not checked out London River, Kate Carter, whoo, beautiful imagery, beautiful photos, beautiful videos, man. I got to say, if you first of all, you're talking about jerking it from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I had the image of Craig David's 7 days, but like the masturbatory version. I yanked it on Monday, yanked it on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, Saturday, and then I chilled on Sunday. So you chill on Sunday from the yankage. I like how you put that.
Yeah, everyone needs a rest. Sunday can be your day of rest. Let your wrist and your dick have a rest. But yeah, London Rose, love her, and Kay Carter, amazing, fun athletes, two totally different styles, both beautiful, all natural blondes, um, having a sex fight, getting tied up in their leg entanglement and face sitting and ass smothering and trib fucking. It's a good day. And like I said, we update on hump day. Wednesdays are hump days and the girls hump each other. It was great. It
Hey,
was
man,
fun. It was fun.
rest in peace to the late great Shag G when Digital Underground came out with the Humpty Dance. Y'all know what's up. Oh man, but no, that's a beautiful marketing strategy, and that's beautiful just how to put it, man. Because Hump Day, they're humping, and that's the thing about Evolve Fights that I will say that I love, and I mentioned this last time, but I'll reiterate this fact here, Ariel. Like again, just you're beating the crap out of each other, beating the tar out of each other, and putting out some great content and having some badass fights. But afterwards, man, you don't even win or lose. You win at the end of the day because what happens afterwards, if you lose, is a beautiful experience.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the models always joke about. They're like, I mean, I lost, but I kind of won because I get fucked and have orgasms, so it's kind of cool. And I agree with that. Like there are no losers. The real winners are the viewers. The viewers get to watch these women enjoy what they do, look hot while they do it, and they have it recorded and they can watch it whenever they want. It's a beautiful thing.
That's the thing, man. Sex. Well, first and foremost, I will say, not just from Sex in It, but there is a great Robin Thicke song called "Love After War." Man, sometimes that's what your Evolve Fights epitomizes right there. Love after war, because you went to war and then you're making love. Love after war, Robin Thicke style.
Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely.
Hey, and I'll be honest with you. Would you? I would rather make love, not war. We need more loving in this world. So, I mean, you're practicing on the love, the LOVE, the 1 2 3 LOVE, Miss Ariel X. So, it's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. I love it. Grudge fuck is always fun when you're mad at someone. You're like, fine, I'll fuck you, but we're gonna fuck hard because I'm still mad at you. So that's always fun too. So, you can make love and have war at the same time. Those are always good too. But at the end of the day, you're making love.
Grudge fuck. Again, we're using a lot of terms on this show, from yanking and the grudge fuck. Like, I like that. We're putting things into your minds today, man, with the grudge fuck. Sometimes you just got to have angry sex. It is what it is.
Angry sex is awesome sex. Come on, everyone knows this.
Mhm. I mean, hey, again, anger management, whether it's no, Jack Nicholson, when he's talking about his anger problem, you just want to jerk off angrily and masturbate and have angry sex. And I'm like, I like sex, it feels good. Like Adam Sandler said it best. I like sex, it feels good. There you go.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh my goodness. But anyway, from
Human.
yes, wisdom right there. So when it comes to sex, when it comes to content, when it comes to fighting, when it comes to jujitsu, when it comes to kicking ass and taking names, Ariel X, you exude and accentuate all of that. And before we close this out, I'm going to say right now, man, we just did a rematch. We just did a round 2. Round 3, Miss Ariel X, you're always welcome on the show, and I look forward to having you back on.
I appreciate it. I always love talking to you. You're fun. I love how you highlight and showcase the females, their beauty, their strength, their power. I really think you're doing a beautiful thing by showcasing females like that. Thank you, and I appreciate that.
Ah, you're very welcome. First and foremost, I will say this. One of the things I love about you, like we mentioned at the show, every day is a blessing, and people just enjoy life, live your life, and do what you love and do it to the best of your doggone abilities. And before we close this out, Ariel X, we got to promote Evolve Fights. Evolve Fights, Les, Submissive X, Jiu-Jitsu, man. Jit Fights chick that you are. Please promote the social medias, man. You're on a bunch of social medias, so go ahead. Take your time. I'll wait.
I have my Instagram was deactivated and I made a new one and I was like, Instagram's just going to be all my jujitsu stuff. So the Instagram handle is Jits Fit Chick and my Twitter is Ariel XOXO. I also have a Jits Fit Chick Twitter handle, which is all my philosophy and jujitsu. It's fun, but no nudity on there. Just safe for work type of way to, if you need to get your Ariel X fits at work and your boss is over your shoulder and you can't have tits and ass and buttholes all over your screen, you can hop over to the Jits Fit Chick Instagram and Twitter. It's safe for work. And then, of course, evolvedfights.com is the mixed wrestling. Evolvedfightsles.com is our lesbian wrestling with girl on girl action. Submissivex.com is me submitting to my girlfriends and having a good time doing it.
I gotta say, I also liked how the fact that you're the X and the submissive X, because there was an amazing song by Maya called "Case of the X," and we all have that X, and sometimes we gotta get that X. So hey,
Yeah, sometimes.
well, Miss Ariel X XOXO, which by the way I like that too. I've always liked the Twitter handle because it's hugs and kisses. You know what I'm saying? And X and L again, the philosophy and the spirituality of you. Because if you're not checking out Jits Fit Chick, man, there's a lot of philosophy and there's an extension of who you are as a human being. So it's a nice little blend. It's a nice little mix.
I love it is, yes, XOXO is hugs and kisses to most people, but to me, XOXO is hugs and headlocks because when you put your arm around someone's head, it makes that O, around your arm looks like an O shape. So I tell people it's hugs and headlocks, but hugs and kisses is good too.
Yo, first and foremost, that just put that image in my head. I'm like, okay, now, no, see, I wasn't thinking that. Now I know, I get it. No, I just put that image in my head just because as soon as you said that, I'm like, shit, that makes sense. I'm like that kid in freaking The Social Networking when he's like, well, who was speaking up there? It was Bill Gates. Oh shit, that makes sense. That's what it was.
Oh.
Social Network. Oh my god. But yeah, no, that definitely makes sense, and it really showcases a lot of what you do from the artistry standpoint and the content standpoint. People, check out Ariel X on all forms of social media. Lastly, I will say this: beauty, strength, and dominance, the 3 key elements that make women the work of art that they are. And Ariel X, I wholeheartedly include you in those sentiments. So, for Miss Ariel X, my name is Mike Larkin. Thank you so much for listening to another edition of the LFC podcast, and I will talk to you in the next episode.